Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be part 10 to What If Naruto Was an Older Brother. And finally we are at the Land of Waves arc. So I won't really be doing much of an intro here, except for the fact that I want to tell you guys that if you all like my channel or find my channel worth watching, you should share it with other people because I've recently been seeing a massive drop in my YouTube analytics, and my sub count is also kind of stagnating, and so are the number of views that each video gets. So please guys, I urge you, if you like this channel, um, you know make sure to spread the word about its existence, right? So anyways, with all that said, let's get straight back to where we left off, and that's the start of the Land of Waves arc. And basically we stopped where Naruto told his team and Tazuna to get some rest for the night, and they would continue and start the mission the next morning. So anyways, at around 7 a.m. in the morning, the team assembled at the gate with all of their luggage, and so did Tazuna and Naruto, of course, because he's a sensei. But Naruto immediately noticed something very odd about the three genin. While Natsumi and Sasuke's luggage didn't really seem too bulky, Sakura seemed like she was packing for a vacation or something. And Naruto was like, Sakura, why is your bag so much bigger than the others? What all have you packed in there? And Sakura showed him the insides of her bag. And Naruto was like, why do you have so many civilian clothes in here? We are going on a mission, not a vacation. All you really need are 2 to 3 sets of shinobi clothes. And why do you have so many sweets in here? You should be carrying only some emergency food and some food pills. And what are these? Shampoos, body lotions, moisturizers, soaps. Why do you need so many of these? And Natsumi started to giggle a bit, and Naruto turned to her and was like, and you, Sasuke as well. Why didn't you two help Sakura pack efficiently? You know she doesn't come from a shinobi family like you, so she may not be completely aware of the protocols. I may be training you in your individual skills, but you must not forget that you are a team, and a team is supposed to support its teammates. And all three of them kind of looked down in shame, and Naruto was like, anyways, Sakura, this is all you really need. And he unsealed an empty bag and put in about 25% of what Sakura had originally packed, plus some weapons, paper bombs, food pills, that type of stuff, and a first aid kit. He took Sakura's original bag along with the rest of its contents, and quickly flashed to her house, and dropped it off there. And as Naruto came back, Natsumi was thinking, oh, why does my brother have to be such a hard ass? And basically, once that was done, Naruto was like, alright now you three and Tazuna, let's get the mission started now, shall we? And all of them nodded, and as they walked out of the gates, and Naruto was like, alright team, assume formation. Since Natsumi and Sasuke have the best perception among the three of you, they will stand to the left and right of Tazuna. Sakura will be in the front, as her extreme strength technique can easily deal with any insignificant bandits who try to give a frontal assault. I will be in the back so that I can watch over the rest of you, and also use my sensory abilities to sense all around us. Tazuna will be in the middle. And all of them nodded and got into position. And as they were walking for a while, a question suddenly came to Sakura's mind. And without turning her eyes from the front, from facing forward, basically, she was like, Sensei, I have a question. And Naruto was like, what is it? And Sakura was like, why did Tazuna-san come to the Hidden Leaf Village to ask for a mission? Does it not have its own shinobi? And Naruto was like, you're quite right about that, Sakura. You see, in the Land of Waves, the primary occupations are fishing, farming, and building. And the Land of Waves uses its natural isolation as a form of protection. Not a very smart idea as we shinobi can walk on water, but still it is how they operate. And Tazuna looked a little miffed at that not a very smart idea comment, but he knew that what Naruto said was true. Operating in the land of waves would be much easier if there was a shinobi system there. And Sakura was like, I see. What villages have shinobi then? And Naruto was like, other than the main five elemental nations that I'm sure you know about, there are hidden villages for shinobi in several other countries, such as the villages uh, Kusagakure, or hidden grass, Takigakure, or hidden waterfall, and so on. We'll get more into this once we're ready to take a rest. And Sakura was like, alright, sensei. And after a while, all of them noticed a puddle in front of them, like approaching them pretty much. And Naruto was happy to see all three of his genin become a bit more alert when they saw this. And as all of them passed the puddle, the two chunins, Gozu and Meizu, stabbed their swords straight into Naruto and pretty much sliced him in half at the waist. And all three genin were horrified to see what has happened. And Natsumi was like, "Brother, no!" And the chunins were like, "One down, one to go." And obviously, this one was referring to Tazuna. They didn't really care about the genin. But all three of the genin realized that their sensei wouldn't die so easily, as after all, he is a jonin. So they became a bit more relaxed. And Natsumi shouted, "Sakura, defend Tazuna!" And without our argument, Sakura jumped into place, and Sasuke and Natsumi quickly got to fighting the Chunins. So first, let's see Natsumi's fight against the Chunin Gozu. I'm not sure whether he's the one with the gauntlet or not, but I'm just going to say he is, okay. So as Gozu attacks with the gauntlet, Natsumi defends with a wind and hands kunai, kind of slicing the gauntlet to bits, surprising Gozu. And Gozu was like, "You bitch, that was my favorite weapon." And Natsumi weaved a few hand signs and was like, "Lightning style, white lightning." And she shot, a big bolt of white lightning at Gozu, who wasn't fast enough to dodge it. And since his armor was covered with metal, the effect of the lightning was a lot stronger on him, and he was basically knocked out by the jutsu. And yes, Natsumi can use such a powerful jutsu already because her chakra reserves are pretty big, so she needs to learn some big jutsus to actually be able to use any jutsus. So yeah, that's why she knows this. So anyways, Natsumi was quickly able to dispatch Gozu, and now Sasuke is fighting against Meizu, and Meizu is the one with the chain. And Sasuke was thinking, at close quarters I have a disadvantage as he is wearing armor and he has a weapon. I also can't use shuriken because of his armor. But then he was thinking, wait, shuriken? And an idea quickly struck him, and he jumped back. He pulled out two shuriken, and he charged them up with lightning, and threw them straight at Meizu. And Meizu tried to knock them away with his chain, but his chain was sliced into bits. Though the shuriken were also like kind of deflected. And then yeah, by the way, the chain had a blade at the end. But anyways, now Sasuke deemed that it was safer to get closer to Meizu, and he weaved a few hand signs and was like, "Lightning style, lightning spear," and he threw it straight at Meizu, impaling him in the shoulder with it. And basically, due to the shock, Meizu also passed out. And once this was done, Sasuke was like, "Come out, sensei, you're not fooling anyone." And Naruto started clapping and was like, "Well done, you all dispatched two chunin. And you also are keen enough to understand that Sakura is a power type fighter and not a speed type, so she's better off defending the client. I'm very proud of you three." And all three of them beamed at the praise. And no, Natsumi doesn't do any kind of masochistic oath. So anyways, they continue moving forward, and now they get on the boat and go across the little lake thingy, uh, whatever it is between the land of waves and the land of fire. And as they get off, they observe like a hell of a lot of mist, and all of them except Tazuna, of course, understand that this is not any regular kind of mist. And Naruto sensed some presences in the mist as well. And Natsumi was also growing increasingly on edge until she quickly threw a kunai into the bushes. And Sakura was like, "Why do you scare us like that, Natsumi?" And she went and checked behind the bushes and saw that, the kunai had hit a rabbit which had died. And Sakura was like, "Natsumi, why did you do that? You killed this poor rabbit." And Naruto was like, "Sakura, observe that rabbit closer." And Sakura suddenly realized that this rabbit wasn't, the right color for the season. As by now its fur should have turned, auburn colored, but it was white, signaling that it was in captivity, which means that it was probably for substitution jutsu. And suddenly Naruto senses something flying towards them, and Naruto's like, "All of you duck." And everyone ducked, with Sakura bringing Tazuna to the ground. And they all saw a huge sword flying towards them, which Naruto easily caught with one hand. But he only told them to duck for good measure. But anyways, and Naruto examined the sword, and Zabuza was like, "Hey kid, you're gonna want to return that sword to me." And Naruto was like, "Oh, I apologize. I wasn't aware that grown men like you would still be playing with these toys." "Well, to each their own, I suppose." And Zabuza was like, "Grr, brat, I'll make you pay for your insolence." And the fog around him cleared a bit, and he saw Naruto's face. And Zabuza was like, "It's you." And Naruto was like, "You have 10 seconds to tell me what your business here is." And Zabuza was like, "Little brat, don't get all cocky. I'm not sure what you did to get an SS rank in the bingo book, but I'm sure you're not all that threatening." And Naruto was like, "Believe whatever you want, but I still cannot believe that you haven't recognized me." And Zabuza took a closer look, and he was like, "Wait, you are that kid from the chunin exams. You beat everyone." And Naruto was like, "Now you finally see it. But I didn't think you'd still be playing with this toy, Zabuza. It's only a bigger version of a sword. There's nothing really special about it. There are several legendary weapons out there, and it doesn't come close in its ability to any of them. There's the Samehada, the blade of Kusanagi, the Totsuka blade, and so many others. I don't understand why you're still playing around with this." And Zabuza was like, "Ugh, how dare you diss me, brat? I'm going to show you." And Naruto was like, "Whatever." And he sealed the sword inside his wrist, inside the seal on his wrist. And Zabuza was like, "What are you doing, you pathetic twerp? Return me my sword." And Naruto was like, "It's impolite to return gifts, Zabuza. Anyways, what is your business here?" "Well, first it was just to kill that bridge builder. But now that you're here, that's not my only objective." And Naruto was like, "I'm sorry, Zabuza, but I don't swing that way." And Zabuza gritted his teeth and was like, "That's not what I meant." And Natsumi was like, "Enough fooling around, sensei. Let's kick this guy's ass." And Naruto was like, "Well, he is after our client, so I guess that is in order." And he quickly charged into a taijutsu battle against Zabuza. And basically the same sequence of events happened until, the point where Kakashi got trapped in a water prison. Naruto also got trapped in a water prison. But here's the thing, guys. Naruto did this on purpose. He could easily disperse the water prison from the inside if he wanted to, and his constant sage mode didn't drain him of his breath. So despite not being able to breathe, he was still able to replenish the oxygen in his cells. So he was basically testing his team to see what they would do in such a situation. And Zabuza was like, "Haha, see brats, I got your sensei pretty good. Now for you three." And by the way, the hidden in the mist jutsu thing was still on. I like it's basically the same sequence of events that led to Kakashi's capture. So, anyways, Zabuza created three water clones, and they were steadily approaching. But suddenly, all three genin jumped in front of each water clone, and they made sure to stay in close range so that Zabuza doesn't get the advantage of them in the mist. So now we move to Natsumi versus her Zabuza clone. And first she was just fighting Zabuza Kunai versus Kunai before she resorted to using her shadow clones. She didn't want to go for any ninjutsu because she didn't have any short range ninjutsu except, elemental manipulation over weapons. So she settled for only using taijutsu, and where if Zabuza tried to jump back to perform a jutsu, she always followed him. And Zabuza was like, "Impressive, brat, for a genin. This is quite a lot." And Zabuza grabbed one of the clones and put a knife, put the kunai to its neck, and he was confused when that Natsumi clone smiled excitedly. And Natsumi was like, was thinking, "I can't believe I finally get to use this." And suddenly, Zabuza's clone was destroyed as Natsumi's clone exploded. So Natsumi finished off her fight with a bang, and next we see Sakura versus the Zabuza clone. Sakura was basically using the same tactics as Natsumi because she also didn't really have that short range ninjutsu attacks, and but the thing was like she did earth manipulation to create stone fists on her hands, and she was fighting Zabuza with those, and Zabuza was like, I'm happy that you're not that useless fangirl that I thought you were. And Sakura was thinking, seriously, is this the reputation of kunoichis? I've got to make sure that that is changed. And as she was fighting Zabuza and Zabuza was deflecting her attacks, she quickly created a shadow clone. And yes, Sakura does know how to create shadow clones, and she can create a maximum of 10, as her chakra had substantially increased. Oh wait, sorry, I won't say 10, I'll say 5. Yeah, she can make a maximum of 5 shadow clones. And the only reason why she was able to do this was because Naruto taught her the shadow clone jutsu so that she could maximize her training as much as possible. And at this point, she could only go up to 5, but then she was sure that she would, increase that quantity. Anyways, once she created a shadow clone, like Zabuza was pretty surprised because Sakura didn't look like she was from any clan, and as she was a female, her chakra reserves were naturally lower. So he didn't expect a jutsu like the shadow clone coming from her. And this moment of surprise was about to cost Zabuza the match, but then he quickly blocked her strike, like in the last moment, and that led to something he wasn't prepared for. Sakura, instead of punching at him, she punched the ground with all of her might. And since this was an unexpected move, it caused the Zabuza clone to stumble a little bit. And as he was stumbling, Sakura placed a paralysis seal on the ground, which Naruto gave her. So she didn't know how to do Fuinjutsu yet, but Naruto taught her how to identify some seals that could be useful to her, as it would aid her in fighting, as she didn't really have much fighting stamina. So she put the paralysis seal and activated it, freezing the Zabuza clone in place before she destroyed it with a single punch. So next we have Sasuke. So the deal with Sasuke was that since he had the Sharingan, now with one Tomoe in one eye and two Tomoe in the other eye, because of the training with Naruto, he was able to see through the mist. So a long range battle was possible, but he still first started out with taijutsu to get a feel for Zabuza's movements, and he quickly left back and was like, fire style phoenix flower jutsu, and a bunch of basketball size fireballs were forming a pincer attack on Zabuza. And Zabuza was like, what, how can this kid use such an advanced jutsu already? But with a quick water encampment wall, he was able to defend himself from the fireballs. And Sasuke was like, that was stupid of me. He clearly has a water affinity. I should have gone for lightning. And as they continued fighting, Zabuza launched some water bullets at Sasuke, which Sasuke neatly wove through, like basically dodged through. and he weaved a few hand signs and put his hand on the ground saying lightning style electromagnetic murder. And due to the fact that the ground was wet with water, it helped the lightning easily conduct towards Zabuza. And Zabuza jumped at the last moment, but then he was intercepted by Sasuke's shadow clone. And yes, Sasuke also can create shadow clones because it wouldn't be fair for only Natsumi and Sakura to have them. And he wasn't like training with shadow clones, but then Naruto gave him the jutsu because it would be good for like a quick escape or a distraction, or like to supplement his fighting whenever needed. And the Zabuza clone was like, "What? All three of them can use shadow clones? This is strange." And then, as he was confused, he made the mistake of looking into Sasuke's eyes, and he got caught in a B rank genjutsu. And basically, Sasuke put a genjutsu on Zabuza where he would see his worst fear, and Zabuza turned to see that Naruto had broken out of his water prison and had found Haku and killed him. And Zabuza was like, "Haku, no!" As tears started flowing from his eyes. But then he immediately realized he was in a genjutsu and broke it. But it was too late as Sasuke had slashed his throat with a kunai and destroyed the water clone. And Zabuza, who was in his in that lake, holding up Naruto's water prison, was like, "You have quite talented students there." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, thanks, but I think that now they can use some assistance. They do look quite winded." And with this, he quickly grew a bone shell all over his body and was like, "Dance of the chestnut shell." And then Zabuza was like, "What are you doing?" And Naruto quickly overloaded the armor with energy and was like, "Dance of the chestnut nutcracker." And all the armor exploded off of him in a bunch of shrapnel straight through the water prison and at Zabuza. And as a bunch of shrapnel like pierced Zabuza and went into his limbs, Zabuza was finding it difficult to move without extreme irritation, and he was like, "Damn you could have broken out this whole time." And Naruto was like, "Correct, I was just testing my team." And Zabuza was like, you," and Naruto was like, "This is not very entertaining for me. Please stop wasting my time and go away, or if you prefer to fight with your friend who's hanging out in the trees there, then tell him to come over here." And Zabuza was like, "You sensed Haku?" And Naruto was like, so Haku is his name." And before Zabuza could reveal anything else, Zabuza quickly disappeared in a body flicker. And Naruto was like, a coward, what a disappointment." And as he walked back towards Sazuna, he looked at all three of his students staring at him angrily. And Sakura was like, "How could you do that, sensei? We were worried about you." And Naruto was like, "I had to let you experience what it's like fighting a Jonin. And I'm quite impressed by the fact that even though you defeated his water clones, you still managed to do that. It shows that our training is going well, especially since you're able to apply your skills that well." And all three of them quickly had a switch in mood as they beamed from his praise. And Naruto's like, "Anyways, let's continue towards your village, Tazuna-san." And Tazuna was basically something was bothering Tazuna up till now. And this is the fact that Naruto did not, bring up him lying about the mission. And Tazuna was like, "Why aren't you angry at me?" Towards Naruto. And Naruto was like, "Over what, Tazuna-san? The fact that you lied to the Hokage about your mission and could have endangered the lives of the team that escorted you if it wasn't mine." And Tazuna looked down in shame, and Naruto was like, "Of course I'm not angry. After all, I did know all along." And this caused Tazuna and the rest of Naruto's team to look up at him in confusion. And Naruto was like, "You really believe that I couldn't sense your lie from the start? Or at least you hiding your information? I'm not a shinobi for nothing, Tazuna." And Tazuna, Tazuna looked down in shame and was like, "But you have to believe me. You have to help me. And Naruto is like, I don't care about your reasons. If you feel like telling me, enlighten me once we get to your home. And with that, Tazuna dropped it as they continued walking towards his home. Once they reached Tazuna's home, they were greeted by his daughter Tsunami, and you know, Inari was nowhere to be seen. And Tsunami was like, "Oh, father, I can't believe you're home safe." And Tazuna was like, "Well, it's me in the flesh, Tsunami. These are the shinobi who kept me safe." And then he introduced Naruto and his team. And Tsunami was like, "Oh, thank you so much. I have no words to express my gratitude for you." Looking at the team, and Naruto was like, "No need to thank us, ma'am. We were only doing our jobs." And Tsunami was like, "Right, but still, you have my gratitude. Please come in." And Naruto was like, "We are grateful for your hospitality, ma'am." And he let his team inside, and they all got relaxed and stuff. And Naruto was like, "Alright, now Tazuna, you have some explaining to do." And Tazuna was like, "You're right. I'm really sorry for lying to you guys again. But you see, the land of waves is not a very wealthy nation anymore. Most of our wealth has been taken forcefully by a shipping company." And Naruto was like, "Would this shipping company be Gato by any chance?" And Tazuna was like, "Yes, it was him. But anyways, we could not amass enough money to pay for a mission higher than C rank." And Naruto was like, "Our Hokage is a very kind man. He is also very understanding and receptive of other people's concerns. If you had tried to negotiate with him, he probably would have come up with a deal that you pay a starting amount before paying the rest of the amount after you earn some money from the bridge." And Tazuna was like, "But I don't know your Hokage. What if he refused?" And Naruto was like, "That is no excuse. If you really didn't know the Hokage, then anything would be possible. If you lied about the details of the mission to the head of another village, they might have seeked retribution and destroyed your village. Which means in any scenario, your best course of action would have been to be honest from the start." And Tazuna was like, all right, I'm sorry, I didn't think so far into the situation. But please remain here to protect me as until the bridge is complete." And Naruto was like, "You can relax now. I have already agreed to do that. You're fortunate that it is my team and not another's that is doing this mission for you. Due to the fact that we met a Jonin, this mission has become an A ranked mission. Something that almost no other Genin team in my village would be able to handle. Just make sure you don't repeat this mistake." And Tazuna just dumbly nodded before, uh, just like taking a seat. And Tsunami was kind of standing in the background awkwardly as she watched Naruto berate her father. And she was like, I have a room prepared for you. Unfortunately, we only have 3 bedrooms in our house, so Sakura will have to sleep with me. The rest of your team will sleep in another room, and Tazuna and and my father and Inari will sleep in another room." And Naruto was like, "I appreciate you preparing us accommodations, Tsunami. But my team and I will remain outside, only coming back into the house to eat. We must stand guard in case anything goes wrong." And Tsunami was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just continue my previous arrangement then." And Naruto was like, "Please don't worry yourself too much, Tsunami. My team will not be needing anything here except for the food." And Tsunami was like, "All right." And she went away. And as they were all eating, later on, everyone saw Naruto not eating and instead choosing to sit aside and draw some seals. And Tsunami was like, "Are you not hungry, Naruto-san? I've made plenty. Don't worry." And Naruto was like, "It's all right. I don't need to eat." And Tsunami's comment caused and question caused Natsumi, Sakura, and Sasuke to all look in confusion. And wait, by the way, guys, when I was talking about Tsunami preparing the rooms and stuff, Natsumi and Sakura were supposed to be with Tsunami. Okay, like I kind of forgot that Natsumi is a girl for a second. But anyways, like that was just like a minor slip up. But just continuing with the story, as I was saying, Team Seven was quite confused when they heard Tsunami's question, and they were like, Natsumi was like, "Come to think of it, Sensei, ever since you were back from outside the village, I've never seen you eat a thing, or even drink water." And Naruto was like, "Well, I have some special circumstances, Natsumi, which I will be informing you three of later. But anyways, no need to worry about the food for me, Tsunami. As it is, the food is scarce over here." And Tsunami was like, "If you're sure." So, anyways, as after we finished, Naruto and his team went outside, like to keep watch, and Naruto was like, "Alright, you three. Normally, I keep watch every single night, as I don't need to sleep as well due to the special circumstances I mentioned before. However, for you three to experience what a real mission is like, it will be you three who will be keeping watch. We have 7.5 hours before daybreak tomorrow, meaning each of you will be keeping watch for 2.5 hours and sleeping the remaining time. Now, who would like to keep first watch?" And Natsumi was like, all three of them raised their hands because they knew that the second watch was going to be the worst, as they would have fragmented sleep periods. So all three of them were gunning for the first or the third. But the first was better than the third because the third would involve like them having to abruptly wake up and stand guard. So all three of them were gunning for the first watch. And Naruto was like, "Calm down, you three, I have a solution." And he uses earth manipulation to create three thin earth rods. And Naruto was like, "One of these is fragile, meaning as soon as you pull it from me, it will break. However, the other two are not. Whoever gets the fragile one will keep watch." And he held them between his fingers and asked them to pull whichever one they wanted. And in the end, Sakura got the first watch, and she was keeping watch. And similarly, Natsumi and Sasuke also kept watch. And fortunately, this like arrangement suited them because among them, Sakura was the one who needed the most rest, and Natsumi was the one who needed the least rest. And this was obviously because Natsumi had the Kyuubi sealed inside her gut, and Sasuke was in the middle because he's an Uchiha. Like, how often have you seen an Uchiha sleep? Like, even when Sai found Sasuke in Orochimaru's hideout, Sasuke was basically just faking his sleep. But anyways, nothing really happened over the night except for some small time goons which are easily taken care of. And Naruto was pretty happy with how his team's progress was going so far. So, anyways, they continued to live there for 2 weeks with Naruto making sure to train them every single day because he knew that at one point Zabuza will turn up once more once he gets all the bone splinters out of his leg. And this is why he was keeping like a big scan with his sensory abilities all over the hidden wave village, sorry, the land of waves. So anyways, after 2 weeks, Naruto was also able to feel Roshi and Han among the people who were approaching. He could clearly feel Zabuza and his accomplice, who Naruto didn't know yet, and he could also feel Roshi, Han, and as he felt like pushed his senses a little more, he was surprised even more to see that Anko was among the group too, and Naruto got pretty pissed off at this. But then his team was not to know of his dealings with Hanya yet. So, anyways, Naruto and his team went to meet the group on the bridge, and Naruto saw Zabuza and Haku. Like even though the mist was there, like he could easily sense them and like see their silhouettes. And Zabuza was like, "Ah, I see, we meet again, brat." And Naruto was like, and it seems your accomplice is an ice kicking Genkai user. And Zabuza was like, indeed, it seems your sensory abilities are no joke. However, this time you are doomed because I have help. And Naruto was like, yes, I can sense three others behind you. And Zabuza was like, last time I made the mistake of underestimating you despite your rank as an SS rank shinobi kid. But no one can stand against three S rank shinobi and an A rank shinobi. And Naruto was like, we shall see about that. And Natsumi, Sakura, and Sasuke were absolutely shocked and kind of in panic because of how escalated this mission was getting. And Sakura was like, oh, "What should we do, Sensei?" And Naruto was like, "I will make a shadow clone to protect Tazuna. The three of you must fight the accomplice of Zabuza. I can sense that he is a mid-jonin level shinobi. Would probably be a B rank if he was in the bingo books." And all three of them nodded before they went to fight against Haku. And Naruto created three shadow clones to help him. Each fought Roshi, Han, and Zabuza, while he fought Anko. And as he was fighting Anko in Taijutsu, he was like, "What are you doing? The organization's supposed to be secret." And Anko was like, "Yeah, you see, your original said that it would be best if we amass some resources by doing missions. He claims that our organization has grown powerful enough to step out of the shadows." And Naruto's like, "Really? How strong is each member?" And Anko was like, "All of them have surpassed S rank, except for Ranmaru, who's still A rank. However, we know that his physique limits him. I dare say even some of them are approaching your level, Naruto." And Naruto's like, then I suppose it does make sense. Any new things you have to inform me about?" And Anko was like, "Yeah, I have some information to deliver to you." And while they were fighting, she slipped him a scroll. And by the way, all three of the Hanya members were masked, so they couldn't see, like, Naruto's team couldn't see who they are. Anyways, Naruto was able to, decimate Zabuza pretty much, the clone, and Naruto's clone was able to decimate Zabuza. He didn't kill him, but he defeated him and incapacitated him. And his team had done the same for Haku. And the thing that made the difference was that when Haku pulled his ice mirrors, Sakura was able to punch them out of the ice dome. And yeah, Sakura is a bit useful in this what if. Like, she's pretty useful in this what if. So yeah. Anyways, Team Seven was out of the dome with minimal injury, and they were able to take down Haku. Um, Although, like, they were kind of scruffed up at the end, and Naruto was able to take on Zabuza. So now I'll get to the more interesting fights. So Naruto's clone versus Roshi. So Naruto and Roshi were first just fighting Taijutsu, and Naruto was kind of staying even at Roshi's level. And as Naruto's the clone started to get faster, Roshi started augmenting his, fighting with lava release, and neither Naruto nor Roshi could go all out at this point because Naruto did not want to severely injure one of his own members, and Roshi could not show that he was a Jinchuriki, by using his tail beast abilities, and like so basically he used lava release though. Anyways, Naruto started pulling out his bones, and he used a double-handed dance of the camellia, which means he pulled out both his arm bones and used them as a dual-wielding kind of sword technique. And he coated the edges of and he coated his bone swords with lightning, and he was like hacking and slashing at Roshi, who at this point had a type of lava armor all over his body. Naruto broke through at one spot, creating a large gash in Roshi's thigh, which healed pretty instantly. But yeah, anyways, both of them jumped back to start using ninjutsu, and as Roshi used lava release, scorching rocks, Naruto countered with storm release, thunder tsunami, and this literally created a whole a large wave of storm release, like how Darui's laser circus looks, basically that same kind of material or element or whatever you call it. And that attack decimated the scorching rocks and kind of like hit Roshi, and it basically incapacitated him. Naruto knew that Roshi could handle it though, so he was fine. And next we have Naruto versus Han. So Naruto and Han were fighting in taijutsu first, and both of them were using their storm release to amp themselves up. And like both of them were at like nearly the equal level until Naruto started using swift release as well to get faster. And wait, did I say they were both augmenting this with storm release? No, it is boil release, by the way. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, Han was like, so you're quite a match for me in taijutsu. And Naruto was like, you aren't so bad yourself. And they both jumped back, and Han did a few hand signs and was like, boil release, skilled mist. And he blew out a bunch of acidic mist from his mouth. And since it was an open area, Naruto, used, or he tried to use his wind manipulation to blow it away. But Han's hold on the mist was extremely strong, like him channeling the mist in the right direction. So Naruto had to supply way more energy. So he instead decided to disperse with fire, and he was like, fire style, majestic destroyer flame, and he breathed out a huge volley of fire straight at Han, and like it wasn't spread out as how Madra's was, so it was a lot more concentrated and heading towards Han's direction. Han substituted out of the way and was about to lash at Naruto with another kick, once again augmented by his boil release. However, this time he even covered his foot in earth so that he could hit harder. But Naruto saw this coming, and he created a shadow clone to which used Dance of the Chestnut Shell to catch Han and hold him in position. And Naruto was like, bang, and the shadow clone was thinking, Dance of the Chestnut, Nutcracker, as it exploded and basically caused Han to become unconscious. However, he didn't get bits of shrapnel embedded inside him because his body is covered in armor. But the explosion was so powerful that the armor, like the pellets, melted through the armor. But then they didn't go and like penetrate Han's skin. But anyways, now for the main event, Naruto versus Anko. So first, Naruto and Anko only fought in taijutsu, and Anko's snake-style taijutsu was making it really difficult for Naruto, so he decided to use his swift and boil release to augment his taijutsu, and now they're landing equal numbers of hits on each other, and Naruto used his enhanced senjutsu chakra, and which he used for all his attacks. But I'm reminding you, like he used that to lengthen his nails and his fangs, and assumed a feral fighting stance. And he was like, "Dance of the Fly Trap," as he charged at Anko, intending to shred her with his fighting technique. But Anko countered with striking shadow snakes, which were a lot bigger now, kind of like pythons. But Naruto was basically shredding through them until two of them wrapped around his wrists, and he was like, "Dance of the Larch," and he instantly like grew bones through his skin to shred through the snakes, freeing himself. And Naruto did a hand sign and was like, "Dance of the Poplar," and he created two bone clones, And I know this is the part that you're most interested to see, guys, the bone clones. And the bone clones basically were just skeletons of him. And they joined him in his taijutsu against Anko. And every time Anko punched at them and broke something, the bone clones always repaired themselves and not broke something, dislocated something from a joint or knocked off her bone or something like that. However, she actually damaged the bone by breaking it or something. Then that part was damaged until she destroyed the entire clone. So she was like, this isn't working, and she jumped back and was like, fire style, majestic destroyer flame, and she blew a massive volley of fire, annihilating Naruto's bone clones. And Naruto was hiding like a mole jutsu, and he went underneath the ground. And Anko was like, where is he hiding now? And she instantly jumped up as Naruto's hands came out from behind, from underneath her. And as the rest of Naruto came up, Anko was like shadow clone jutsu, and her and her shadow clone, each blew a fire and wind jutsu, meaning one breathed the fire jutsu and the other made a wind jutsu. So as the fire and wind combined, she was like, combination jutsu, gales of Venus. And the special thing about this jutsu was that it even contained the venom of Anko's snakes in it. And Naruto's like, water style, tsunami. And the problem with that was, even though he created a massive tsunami to counter the wind went straight through. And Naruto's like, she broke through my senjutsu enhanced tsunami. And he sensed her more closely, and he found out that she was in senjutsu. She was using snake style senjutsu. And Anko's like, finally found it, huh? And Naruto just smiled, and he was like, Hifushin. And he dissociated into wind before appearing next to Anko and sending a kick at her. And as Anko dodged, she sent some of Naruto's senjutsu chakra, forming another kind of appendage to attack her. And she was like, inorganic reanimation. And like a piece of earth jutted out and caught Naruto's a leg, and stopped the extra senjutsu appendage from attacking her. However, Naruto quickly changed into a bunch of foxes, showing that he used the fox substitution. And Anko knew it wasn't a genjutsu because in her senjutsu mode, only top tier Sharingan genjutsu could actually get her. So, anyways, she once more sends Naruto under the ground, and this time instead of jumping, she coated her foot in earth chakra and smashed the ground that Naruto was under, which Naruto didn't expect. So to escape the force, he uses earth chakra to burrow, his earth affinity to burrow way deeper into the earth until he shot up from somewhere else. And he was like, he was basically thinking, that's a nice tactic she learned. And he made scorch release jutsu, and he was like, scorch release, hell flames, and a huge volley of scorch release came straight at Anko, and it was shaped like a demon head. And Anko was like, how to block this one? But then she instantly got an idea, and Naruto thought that he accidentally burned her alive. But then when he sensed for her again, he understood that she used a snake substitution, and he sensed where she was now. But he used Hifushin to get there first, and he was like, and he basically knocked Anko out. He didn't knock her out, but he just punched her to the ground, and she pretended that she was knocked out. And Naruto was like, she has gotten better. However, it seems she's still not used to my Hifushin. And he turned behind him, and all three of his students were absolutely amazed at the level at which Naruto could fight. And by the way, Naruto created another clone to protect Tazuna. So Tazuna was also watching, and he was also like, is this how shinobi fight? Are they this much stronger than regular people? And obviously it was a rhetorical question, but he was absolutely like, he absolutely like had the shock of his life. And after this happened, Naruto is able to sense Gato and his thugs coming from behind him. Like he didn't know that it was Gato because he didn't know Gato's chakra signature, but then he sensed the presence of more people, and he heard the sound of Gato clapping, and Gato was like, "Hey, look what we have here! Those idiots from their organization thought they could swindle me of my money, huh? Now all we have to take care of are these fools here. Come on guys, a million Ryo for whoever gets the sensei and Tazuna." And Naruto looked at Gato and was like, "Perversions of the human species such as you must not be allowed to live." And with that, he used his scorch release hellfire to literally destroy all the thugs and pretty much dehydrate them and burn them to ashes. And after a few seconds, Zabuza woke up and he was like, "My head, oh, it hurts. Wait, I'm still alive? You didn't kill me?" And Naruto was like, "Well, no point in doing that now. Just remember, Zabuza, if you try anything with the bridge builder, Haku dies." And Zabuza saw Naruto holding a kunai to Haku's throat, and Zabuza was like, "No, please, I'll stop. Haku, he's like a son to me. Please let us go, we'll leave you in peace." And Naruto was like, "Very well then. It seems you're not as bad as you think you are, Zabuza." And Zabuza grumbled at this. And as Naruto was about to pass him, he leaned over to Zabuza and was like, "Anyways, I have an offer for you. Take this slip and hand it to those three other shinobi you came with. They're with my organization. Read what it says on the slip and see if you're interested." And with this, he left, causing Zabuza to look at him incredulously, as this kid was part of such a powerful organization. And uh, anyways, Haku also went to Zabuza, by the way. So like Naruto went back to his team and to Tazuna, and basically they all went back to the house, and Inari was like got all teary eyed about them being heroes and stuff. You know how it goes, and they named the bridge after the Team 7. Now we're with Zabuza, and he is with Roshi, Han, and Anko. And he was like, "So you all work against the Akatsuki, huh?" And Anko was like, "We do." And Zabuza was like, "Bah, I hate those freaks. That bastard Kisame joined them. I think I should join this organization. It's a good change of pace. I'm gonna get hell of a lot stronger too. Haku, what do you say?" And Haku was like, "Wherever you go, I go, Zabuza-sama." And Zabuza was like, "That's my boy." And Anko was like, "Here's your uniform, seeing that you're ready to join us." And Zabuza looked at the same black cloak with crescent moons and stars, which were in white. And Roshi and Han were like, "Welcome to Hanya, Zabuza Momochi and Haku Momochi." And Zabuza and Haku bowed, and Haku was like, "It's an honor." And they all went away. And now we're with Akatsuki at the Akatsuki base. And at that point, only Tobi or Obito, Zetsu, Pain, and Conan were there. And Obito was like, "Pain, that Ninetales brat's brother, he's getting too strong. He's already an SS ranked shinobi." And Pain was like, "If he's a relative of the Jinchuriki, I don't think we'll be able to recruit him. However, if he stands in Akatsuki's way, he shall face the wrath of God. And Obito was like, "Are you insane? It's best we take him out now before he gets any stronger. Even a god can be killed, Pain." And Pain was like, "It matters not. No one can face a god." And Obito just sighed at this. And Zetsu was like, "We have some more concerning news, Pain. There's this new organization. It's called Hanya. Its members also wear black cloaks. However, the lining is navy blue, and their white stars and crescent moons are printed on top of it." And Conan was like, it sounds like they're copying us." And Zetsu was like, "It might as well be possible. However, all of the ninjas who are in Hanya are above S rank level." And Pain was like, "I see. That is concerning. Keep watch over them for now. And if they have any plans that are against ours, we can eliminate them." And Zetsu was like, "Will it be so easy, Pain-sama? Or, Leader-sama? When I found out about them, I only saw three. But it's clear that they were some underlings to a leader." And Pain was like, "We cannot afford to risk losing any members for what is only a possibility. Let us only keep a watch on them for now, and act only when we see it fit." And Zetsu was like, "I suppose that does make sense, but we should recruit some more members. It's already expected that we might lose some members while catching the Jinchuriki. But against this extra threat, we must be better equipped." And Obito was like, "I'll scout for more members while you do Akatsuki's usual business." And Pain was like, "Very well then." Yep, so that's what was happening in Akatsuki. So now Naruto was back in the Leaf Village along with his team, and he read the letter he got from Hanya. And he saw that it was actually two letters and not one, but both of them were rolled up to seem like it was only one letter. And he read the first letter, and it was from Itachi, and it said, "Dear Naruto, in about 2 months' time, I will be visiting the Hidden Leaf Village along with my partner Kisame. I told the Akatsuki that it's only to check on the progress of your sister, as Akatsuki is after her. However, it's only to check whether Sasuke is doing alright. Since you're a censor, I'd like you to make sure that no one runs into us. I don't want to cause any trouble there. Your friend, Itachi." And Naruto just smiled at this, as he thought of the day when Itachi left, and he was thinking, "Itachi, I admire your courage and your determination to do what is right. I don't think I would have been able to make the same decision had I been in your place. I hope you're doing well, my friend." And with this, he basically put the letter on his table, and he read the next letter. And this was a letter from his original, and it said, "Dear Blood Clone, this is your original. We have just received the information that Akatsuki will be making its move in 3 years' time. I suggest that you train our sister and make sure she can utilize the Kyuubi's power by then. Also, during your time in the Leaf Village, please act as Hanya's informant in case Jiraiya and Kakashi miss anything." And Naruto sighed in relief, as he thought that Akatsuki would act much earlier, but this showed that he had some time. This didn't mean that he would slack off on Natsume's training, by the way, but he knew that he would be able to teach her more. So anyways, I will be ending the video here, guys, and this is the end of part 10 to What If Naruto Was an Older Brother. So the next part will be the chunin exams, and if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and comment down your feedback and your ideas for the next parts, and this what if, and also comment down any ideas you have for future what ifs. And thanks for watching, guys.